Amazon stock is going down a little today. I was kind of surprised, you know. I thought that when earnings came out, they would just really hit it out of the ballpark. The earnings was really good. So this is just like a summary of what happened. I was so sure when I heard what happened in the earnings call that the stock would go up, but it didn't. Who knows why? So this is what happened, and you can see that the earnings were up, and of course expenses went up because of infrastructure stuff, and then they have all this COVID stuff that they're dealing with. But it seems like they were growing, and it was so shocking to me that it just took a dive. I really, really kind of wonder why it didn't shoot up. Anyway, I know that some people are kind of concerned about what's going on, especially because of the election. However, for me, I'm not worried about it. I always hold long. I have these diamond hands of sorts. I shared with you guys about JD. I bought it back in 2018, and then the CEO got arrested. He was in an orange jumpsuit, and I remember thinking, "Oh crap, this is my second biggest holding besides Amazon." And just seeing the guy in the jumpsuit, slowly but surely, it basically went down 50%. And that was one of my first purchases for my portfolio. I was cursing it out, and I remember thinking like, how could this happen? How could this stock go down so much? Anyway, long story short, JD I think it's about 83 right now. So I'm happy about it. But when I look at Amazon, it's just, yeah, I'm so surprised it went down. I don't think I think the stock market might take a hit down. And this is just, purely, just me kind of feeling things out. I think there's a lot of fear about what's going on. I don't think it's going to be a terrible, terrible, terrible day. It's always going to recover. I know Amazon is going to recover for sure, and I have the most hope into it. Reason being, think about it. If things get really bad and there's civil unrest, what are people going to do? They're going to want to stay indoors. How many people, how many people will feel comfortable if, crap hits the fan? Not too many people. And if people need to get food, they're going to go to food delivery. A lot of people have Amazon accounts, so they're just going to be buying food off Amazon. And that's something that I really foresee happening. If there's more fear, people are going to want to stay indoors, food delivery goes up. I spoke to a few Amazon drivers because we do order off Whole Foods delivery, Amazon Fresh. I've said multiple times the prices on there is cheaper than if we buy locally. It's strange. It's really strange. I always thought food delivery would be more expensive, but we save money buying from Amazon Fresh or Whole Foods delivered. The so they told me that they said deliveries are going up. They're busier. It's pretty competitive. They have a lot of drivers on the street just making these deliveries and delivering it to people. I don't see it slowing down. If I've read what was happening in the UK, and I kind of think, if people are fearful, they're just going to be buying more stuff online. I think that what happened with the virus has really accelerated a lot of these stores just kind of going under. When people get into habits, it's really hard to break habits. I was speaking to Lewis today about it. I said, even if this thing lifts up, let's say it just disappears tomorrow, out of the blue. Do I see myself changing my buying habits? Do I see myself not buying from Amazon Fresh or Whole Foods delivery? No, I don't, because there is so much convenience. If I'm up in the middle of the night, I can just, add some things in there. Let's say I'm thinking, okay, I'm not too sure about adding this. Okay, let me continually add things for the next couple of days, and then when I feel comfortable, then I check out. That's something that I don't have the luxury of doing in a grocery store. In fact, I usually spend about 1 or 2 hours in a grocery store kind of looking in the aisles, thinking, oh, what do I want to grab? Oh, do I really want to grab that? Oh, let me see what the sales is. And then I know in Hawaii, some people, they get used to this whole idea of like checking out different stores. So they'll hit up one store for some things and then another store for another thing. In where we live in New York, it's just I it's just not feasible. You know, a lot of people don't have cars over here. Parking is kind of a headache. A lot of people take the train or the subway or the bus, and each time you take the train, which is a subway, it costs 275. So it adds up. You know, I can't make multiple stops, and that's why I just shop on Amazon for that. I really don't see my habits changing. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying, I think that the stock might take a little dip. I see it not as something scary at all. In fact, I think of it as a buying opportunity. I'm just kind of keeping track of Amazon stock price just because I'm very, very curious. And right now, you see if it drops like 1.43%, it goes down 43 bucks. If it goes down to like 2,950 or even, you know, lower than that, that's going to be very, very alluring. I think that when holiday season comes in, people are going to be, you know, if people don't want to go out or if they have to do the social distancing stuff, I've seen it around in the stores. Some stores, they say, oh, we can only have 6 people at a time. People are not going to want to deal with that. So they're going to be buying their toys online. And if they buy their toys online, where are they most likely going to go? They're going to go on Amazon.com. And yeah, I just think that holiday season it's going to be a big money maker combined with lockdown stuff, combined with, you know, fears about going out perhaps. It's it's setting up for a new record, but based on what happened on the most recent earnings, I just don't know. You know, I feel like long term Amazon is going to go up, but this earnings just kind of went sideways. I really didn't expect the stock to go down. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was going to hit out of the ballpark. I was when I found out what the numbers was, I was celebrating. I was like, "Yay, it's going to go up up up." And yeah, it did. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, I know some people are day traders. I don't day trade. I just hold long and I just hope my little stock goes up up up. But yeah, so if you look at like the 1 month, I don't know what happened. It should have been way higher after earnings, but it wasn't. Let's see, 5 days, 1 month, 6 month. Like look at that. See, it's around here. I don't know why it's on the July 1st date price, but it is. Kind of sucks. But I'm not shaken out, and I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's gonna go up, but it would be up long. I think if anybody who does like day trading, they might be, you know, kind of, oh, look at this. It's been going down since I've been streaming. Yeah. I know people are buying in already at this price, thinking they're just gonna hold. But because I sense that there's gonna be fear, I do think the stock's gonna drop down even lower. You know, who knows? Maybe even go down to the 2,800s or so. I don't know, but if it goes down to 2,899 or so, I'm gonna be very, very tempted to add. Very, very tempted because I really believe in Amazon. And I think they really are well diversified. I really like how they're all in all sorts of things. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they had this like pill pack thing. It's you can have the pills delivered to you or so, and I was like, wow, I've never too bad they never really kind of pushed that. I know sometimes you hear about the pill delivery things, but yeah, Amazon, I don't take any prescriptions, but I thought that was something that's interesting. And I think that they're trying to dabble their way all around. But of course, I always have concerns about what if, you know, all these like crackdowns, antitrust stuff. It's, you know, Amazon's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think the stock's just they're just gonna be racking in more money as they kind of dominate. It's really become like a one-stop shop. And yeah. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Stock prices going down. I'm not worried at all. I just see this as a buying opportunity. I would not feel comfortable personally buying a lot of stock. Yeah, I think that there's something that I feel this safety with Amazon. It could backfire, right? But with with holiday season coming up, I feel like it's pretty much a good um a good direction to go. I mean, like what would be kind of close to Amazon? I can't really think of it. I mean, like Walmart, I guess. Walmart and um yeah. So we will see. Earnings for a few of my some of the stocks that I have in my portfolio are coming out this week. Very, very curious what happens because elections. So I kind of feel like even if they knock it out of the ballpark, it just might go down like Amazon. Yeah. Where's everybody else? Oh, I don't know. eBay buy a used toaster. You don't have to buy a used toaster. You can just. Oh, I heard there was like a toaster shortage of some sorts. I do think that I see people like snapping up toasters. I thought about getting a toaster, but if you want to get a toaster, my advice is just get a convection oven. You know, the small little toaster ovens, but then you have the big broil function. That is so much more usable, and you can use a lot more things than just a freaking toaster. So I would just get a convection oven. I wouldn't get a toaster. We used to have a toaster when I was living in Hawaii, and I think actually I don't know. We still have it, but we use a convection oven all the time. I prefer to toast on a convection oven rather than using a toaster because like I said, I have multiple functions. I can bake in it. I can broil in it. It's not too big, and yeah. Yeah, I think toasters are overrated. I don't really eat that much bread. I don't really eat that much toast, so makes much more sense to get a convection oven, for me. But yeah, very, very, very curious to see what happens to Amazon in the next week or so. I think it might go lower, but who knows? Maybe it's gonna shoot back up, and then I'm gonna say, "Frick, I should have added more." So it goes both ways. You know, sometimes you lose out on opportunities to add, sometimes you gain on opportunities, and I find that I also get greedy because then I'll add something in, and then it goes up, and I'm like, "Oh, I wish I bought more." And yeah, I haven't added to my portfolio, I think, since I think 2018-ish. Yeah, I think the last one I added was about like when it was 1,568 or something, but yeah, it's been a while, but part of me kind of thinks like maybe I should add a little bit more Amazon since it's kind of going down. Yeah, it would be too stressful if I went day trading. Especially now. I had an ex who was day trading, and I remember they just like kind of studied the charts and looked at things, and I forgot what they were doing. But yeah, it was pretty high stress for them. And yeah, I just hold long and I want to see how my portfolio is. I remember this too, and I'll share this pretty openly. I remember when I remember I was thinking about doing stocks back in, I think 2009-ish, 2009, 2010-ish. But I was too chicken to do it, right? I thought to myself, oh, you know, it's just gonna go, it's just gonna, like, how do I know it's not gonna crash? How do I know it's not gonna crash? And then finally I get the balls in I think 2000, I think it's December 2017 is when I first had my stock portfolio. And then when I look back, right? I look back at 2012 and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, if only I had invested back in 2012, it would have been so it would have gone up so much." So, after I put in money into my stock portfolio, I remember I was talking to people about it and they said, "Oh, you know, Erica, it's just too risky. I don't want to invest in anything. Like the price is too high. Amazon is too high right now." I think Amazon was like 1,350 or so. And then you know you just hear this like, yeah, I want to invest, but I don't know how to time the market, and I don't want to lose everything. And I remember thinking like, oh, diversity is really the way to go. It's not just putting everything all in one stock. I mean, it's like even if you did, I would just say do something like an ETF, but I would not I would not just put everything into one stock. I would not I wouldn't even put everything all into Amazon. It's I don't have too much faith in one single company. So after I made my portfolio, um I was I was dating a guy, and I remember he was giving me so much crap about my portfolio. He was telling me things like, "Oh, Erica, you know, my friends, they're able to, you know, in 1 year they're able to like double the amount that they put in." and they were basically he was telling me like I sucked as a having a portfolio. And yeah, if I was like his friends, they make more money. And I was thinking to myself, man, if you have these friends who are making like mad cash, why don't you get in with them? Why don't you ask them, hey, what are you investing in? Like, give me a heads up when you put in some money, and let me, they he can put in some money too. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that what I realized from having a stock portfolio is there is always a big chance that people will say, "Oh, you have a stock portfolio," and then give you so much crap about it, right? If it goes down, they'll be like, "Oh, oh yeah, you lost money. Oh yeah, well, see, I told you shouldn't put money into a stock portfolio." When JD went down to $20 or so and I lost 50% of what I had put in, I was hearing things from people. Oh yeah, well see, that's what you get when you invest with these companies. See, that's why I don't put money into a stock market. And I just, I got lucky. I feel like, I held on, but when I put money into JD, I kind of knew what was I thought to myself like, man, they're really expanding it. They're really working with like logistics and things like that. I wouldn't have made that my second biggest holding if I did not feel, if I did not have faith in it. But yeah, so I think that with the market being kind of uncertain now, there are some people who, who've never invested into a stock portfolio, who's never put money in, and they're going to say, "Yeah, I would never ever put money into a stock because or any portfolio because yeah, there's just so much uncertain times." And for those people, I my thinking is, and you guys can give me your opinions, but my thinking is that if there's something that you see that you want to do your research, see how it is, see how comfortable you are with it, and then, just do it. I don't want to live a life where I'm kind of hesitant about making certain moves and I think, "Oh, there's a chance that I can lose it all, and I'm just I'm gonna lose everything if I put something in a stock portfolio." Because think about what happened in 2008, and this a lot of the stuff in 2008, from what I've seen, they've gone up since then. But yeah, it's it's something that I didn't think that I would see when I had a stock portfolio. I thought it'd be like, "Oh, okay, she has a stock portfolio. Okay, cool." But yeah, just you have people who are just kind of like naysayers and people who are just too risk averse, and it's easier for them to just kind of jump in on the moment when when a stock goes down, and they're like, "Yeah, see, I knew it was going to go down. I knew it was going to go down." But overall, um, because I've just been holding on, I've seen my stock portfolio go up. I'm happy with it. I think that, I don't regret putting money into Amazon or JD, but I kind of monitor things. I don't feel comfortable being like some people and they only check their stock portfolio once a year. I don't do that. I check it at least a couple times a week just to see how the pulse of things is. And yeah, I would recommend that if you guys are thinking about putting money into a stock portfolio, maybe you don't have to do it now because it is kind of uncertain times, just being honest here. You don't know how big of a drop will be, but I would say, when you I would say if you feel like doing something, just do it. Don't let this whole thing like, "Oh yeah, all the stocks are going to go down to zero. I'm going to lose so much money." Because if you're holding long and if you really believe in that stock, it should jump back up. I wouldn't do anything like pharmaceuticals. I don't trust pharmaceuticals. I made some mistakes with marijuana stocks. I got, what was it? Aurora? I think it was Aurora. Um, back, I think around 2018 or 2019. And now, oh gosh, every time I look at that little stock holding, which was small because I wasn't too comfortable with marijuana, I think, oh geez Louise, it's like 60-70% down for some of these stocks. Oh my gosh, it's just painful. But anyway, don't don't put money into the stock market unless you feel comfortable losing it, unless you feel comfortable seeing the losses. If you are reliant on that money and you're just thinking like, oh, I want to make some guaranteed fast cash, I think that if you see sometimes if the stock drops down, it can be kind of soul crushing. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some person who bought Amazon before earnings thinking that it would be, you know, out of the ballpark, and then when they see the stock go down, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I lost like $50 off one share in just you know, in a couple hours." And yeah. But yeah, that's you have to be resilient in that, some say, but you also have to kind of know when to cut your losses. And I have culled a few stocks just because I just every time I saw it, I was like, frick, it's just kind of dragging me down. Apple, as you guys know, as you guys know, Apple hasn't been doing so well. Yeah, but and it's actually below my average price right now slightly. But you know what? I do believe in Apple. I think that when this situation, kind of blows over, I think people will just be, going off onto their Apple stuff. I mean, if people are staying home, what would they like to be around? Would they like to be around something that's easy to use and simple, and they don't want to be around probably like a piece of crap like an HP. Yeah, I'm gonna be hating on HP for many, 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 many years. Um, yeah, so Apple, I'm not worried about it, even though I am losing a little bit of money. I didn't have a stop loss or anything. I was like, oh, whatever. Um, but I do think it's gonna bounce back. I'm not worried about it at all. Look at this thing. Look at the 6 month. Kind of. Yeah, so I think I forgot. I added around here, and then I added some more around here, I think ish. Yeah, here ish. And then it went up, and then it went down. But I'm just holding on to it. I have a lot of faith into Apple. Very, very biased over here, but I'm one of those Apple fangirls over. Yeah. Oh, oh, look at that. Apple will now replace your crackling AirPods for sale. Oh, what? Neo and Zoom? Oh, yeah, I'm not worried about Apple. I think, you know what? I mean, even if Trump decides to hyper focus on Amazon, which he has done before, I remember he was calling out Amazon in the past and the stock went down. It's not like he can rip on Amazon his whole term, even if he gets reelected. Oh, gosh, my chat didn't scroll up. Okay, hold up. Try the product or service. Yeah, yeah. Invest in AMD. AMD has not been very, like, AMD, I feel like it's kind of stagnant right now. Like, I'm looking at the stock price, and I have not been too happy about the stock price. Like, look at this. Look at the chart. Like, I'm like, it's just kind of, I don't know. Look at that. Like, over here it was good, but then over here it's like, I don't know. By the way, I did buy AMD when it was at 20, but I only bought a small amount of shares, and then I added a little bit more, and then it just, yeah. I was thinking about selling AMD, but I've decided like, nah, just hold on to it. I know Apple needs me to buy a new editing Mac. I know, Joseph. I know. I know. I kind of want to do it. Ideally, okay, what I should do is I should try to do a three-prong approach. My my I should buy an Apple computer on Amazon and use a Visa credit card. That's what I should do. Because then I would be hitting three birds with one stone. But I always go ahead and give money to Amazon instead. I love Amazon. Yeah, well, the thing is that like people say don't use Amazon. Okay, what is my other alternative, right? I would be buying through another company. Or like if I want to do food delivery, right? It'll be Fresh Direct, or there's also things I think like Thrive Market. There's something around Brooklyn. I forgot what they say, but they say support Brooklyn and not Bezos. And I remember looking at the prices of this shit, and I'm like, frick, this is so expensive. Like, yes, I do agree with supporting Brooklyn, but when I look at the prices, it's Brooklyn prices. I'm like, nope, 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 not doing it, not doing it. And it's limited too. So if you support people who are in Brooklyn, it's not like you have your whole selection about. It's not like I can buy anything I want. It's definitely not as diverse as Amazon. And if you're, let's say you have to do something in the middle of the night and you need, let's say, mosquito netting, right? Are you so sure that you can find it in a Brooklyn store or some kind of like Brooklyn collective store? Not too sure. I really like having a one-stop shop, and I do still buy stuff locally, but a lot of my groceries is online. So, yeah, I can just walk into stores in New York, but here's the thing, a lot of the stuff in New York is expensive. It's a lot more expensive. So, for instance, Gardein. Gardein, if I buy it in the grocery store, it's about $6 in a grocery store. If I buy it from Amazon Fresh, some of it's like $3.12. So when I think about it, I'm like, okay, should I go around to several stores trying to get all these varieties of Gardein, or should I rather just do a one-stop shop? Before Amazon Fresh and before Whole Foods, Lewis was only eating about like 5 varieties of Gardein. Now, if he wants, I can buy all these varieties of Gardein all in one stop. I can also make sure that, we're buying pasture raised eggs as well. And then the Kerrygold butter is cheaper than a lot of the stores in Brooklyn too. I think on sale, Kerrygold on Kerrygold on sale on Amazon is I think 350 or something or less than that. And if I buy it in a store here, it's like 5.49. So I think about that. I think about all the little dollars adding up. And ultimately, I just like, yes, it's nice to support local businesses. But when I look at the prices and stuff, I can't justify it. I really can't justify it. Yeah, so being a responsible consumer, I don't think, okay, here's the thing. I don't see it as, I'm being an irresponsible consumer if I shop on Amazon at all. I think that it works for our lifestyle. It saves us money, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's the same. Like some people would say, like, yeah, don't shop at, let's say, big chain stores. Don't stop at Dollar Tree. Don't shop at Family Dollar or Walmart or anything bigger than a mom and pop store. And I respect that, but people shop at these stores because they want to save money. That's why people go to a Family Dollar. That's why they buy all this stuff that's the cheap made in China stuff at Dollar Tree. And I go there, I shop it there occasionally. It's kind of out of the way, so I very, very rarely go over there. But I understand why people do it. If people want to save money, they're gonna want to go to a place where they feel like they can stretch their dollar, and those are some of the places. So let me see. So Amazon right now, talking about workers, Amazon added this 250,000 permanent full-time jobs in the last 4 months. So look at this, like 350,000 new jobs. And the people who deliver the stuff, who deliver the food, from my understanding, they're contracted workers. It kind of seems like it's like Uber. It depends on what you're buying. It depends on what you're buying, Johnny. Like if there are certain things that are cheaper in grocery stores and there are certain things that are is cheaper on Amazon. For things like dishwashing detergent, um, like Dawn dishwashing detergent, for example, it's cheaper to buy it in a store than it is on Amazon. Pet food and litter manufacturers. Oh, talking about that, Vladimir, I don't know how pets are gonna do in the future, and the only reason why I mentioned that is because we brought Blackberry over to the vet, and they were telling us to remove that little bump off her chest. It's gonna be like 1,000, I think it's like $1,200 for a dental cleaning or something like $1,400. And I can't help but think like frick with the price of veterinarians, especially during this time, it makes me sad because I feel like a lot of pets are either not going to get the medical help that they need or they're going to get put down. Amazon has a whole bunch of things. Yeah, just wait, Johnny. Just wait. Our Amazon has a whole bunch of things. Try look at Amazon US or Amazon for North America or the United States, and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. Especially if you make your location to New York. Like that's a lot of stuff. No, they have shipped from Amazon stuff. So they'll sell certain things and it says shipped to Amazon. Let me find it. One moment. Okay, so here's an example. So I typed in blankets and you can see all the blankets I could get if I really wanted blankets. See? Tons of blankets. And then if you want to get it shipped to you, it can come in, it can arrive as quickly as tomorrow. See that? Let's say if I wanted this, which I don't really want. But you see, like see, it'll come by tomorrow, free shipping. So that's why people get addicted to Amazon. I don't buy a lot of stuff off Amazon, in terms of homeware stuff. Last thing I think I bought was the sheets, because the sheet set I think was only 22 bucks or so. But yeah, there are certain things that does do appeal to people, and it's a combination of having that convenient factor. No, someone was asking me like what kind of things do they have? Like there's not too much stuff. Yeah, yep. I have no problem with a lot of the Amazon basic stuff. I really don't. Like I see the Amazon basic stuff and I like it. Not all of it, but the ones that I've seen I kind of like. We have Amazon basic sheets. I think we have Amazon basic. What else do we have Amazon basic? I can't remember, but I think it's microfiber cloths. Uh basic locks. Yeah. Well, I will remember that, Nick. I wouldn't be buying. I think the only lock I would buy would be Master Lock. That's the only stuff that I really trust. I think that okay, the whole China bed thing. Okay, I'm not too well versed on it, but I do think that a lot of the cheap stuff that comes out of China, and when I talk about cheap, like, Dollar Tree, cheap plastic stuff, it's really not worth buying it. I think that when you're buying something that you think you're going to be using a lot, you should really invest in something that's a higher quality. But it's tough. Like, let's say if I wanted to buy a water bottle, right? And I wanted to go and pick one up. Most likely, all the water bottles I'll find locally or on Amazon, or maybe there may be a few of them, they would be all made in China. They wouldn't be made in the USA. Very, it's I you don't really find too much made in the USA stuff. Don't really? Master Lock is the worst? Really? Oh, I have no problem with the Kirkland ones. I had no idea. Kirkland ones leak. I think they said Kirkland one is the same as what? Either Dorsa or Energizer. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta end the stream. I'm at like 5% battery right now. Um, yeah, I wanted to do a little quick stream because all this stuff, but I'm very, very curious to see what's going to happen with the election. And let's put it this way. I told Lewis that he should board up his windows just in case. I heard that some businesses are boarding up their windows because if it goes one way or another, you might have people protesting the results and they might take it out in Manhattan like they did last time, with you know um, if people aren't happy with things, sometimes they just go over to Manhattan and just smash windows. I don't know why they do that, but because they're just hurting their community. It's good to be prepared. So if you have a business, I would say just board up your windows just in case. Better to be safe than sorry and see how things go. Yeah. Yeah, I think he should board up his windows. Just in case anything happens, in case you have someone who's mad about the election results and they want to take it out on some stores, just protect your windows because those windows are not cheap, and replacing them is not going to be immediate. I've seen some stores with their windows broken, and for quite some time they have boards up. Yeah, you guys have seen. Oh, who's winning? Last time I heard it was. I well, I heard Biden's mostly winning, but Trump is winning for like maybe a couple states. Yeah, but I don't really follow that too much. I think that is just speculation. If anything, with the 2016 election, I just kind of take that stuff with a grain of salt. I think that whatever people should vote and don't get too complacent. Like if let's say you're pro Biden, right? And you think like, oh yeah, the polls say Biden's gonna win. I don't have to vote. What if it turns out that when they bring things in, Trump wins, right? Then you're gonna say, oh, I should have voted because I thought my candidate had a lead, so I have to vote. It's very, very important to vote. At least you did your part. Yeah. Oh, the burrito blankets. Oh, I hope you really like your burrito blanket. It's really soft and comfortable. I forgot who sent it over to us, but I still have it around and I still use it time to time. It's really nice. I just wish it was bigger. Yeah, peace of mind. Yep. Windows boarded up because you didn't want your windows smashed. That's a good thought. Yeah. I will leave you with this. I know someone who's a very pro Trump supporter. And they had said they they put money down that they believe that Trump is going to win. And I said, I don't think anybody should be gambling, even if you're pro Biden, right? Even if you're pro Biden, pro Trump, or you're passionate about it. And with this election, I absolutely would not put money down on any candidate because I think anything can go. And Yeah, I just hope yeah, it's like one of those things because I feel like if they win, they would be like, "Yeah, see, I knew I was gonna win." But then if they lose, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm out money because I made a bet." Yeah, just don't bet on a candidate winning, not monetarily. It's fun to do like maybe a small thing, but I'm sure there's some people putting in a good chunk of money on that their candidate is gonna win. Either Trump, Biden. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable voting. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting down money on any candidate, even if I really, really, really believed in it, because I just I can't predict how voter turnout is gonna be. You can say like, oh, polls indicate so and so is gonna win, but are you really sure? You know, there are some people who will think like, oh, Biden's gonna win, and then what if Trump wins, right? They're gonna be like, oh yeah, yeah, my candidate won, even though it was showing that he was losing so much on the polls. So yeah, anything goes. I just hope whatever outcome it is, I hope people don't go crazy. If Trump wins, I know people are gonna be like, oh, it's a conspiracy, really Biden. And then if Biden wins, people are gonna say, oh yeah, no, we got to get this thing retallied out. Oh, God, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I really need to end the stream. I'm at 2% battery.